mean, it's just basketball. At the end of the day, it's just basketball.
Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe on the way in the door, my people. I hope you all are having a truly fantastic day today on this Fanboy Friday. And fanboys, we all hope that your day is going terrible. I know it is. Your days have to be getting worse and worse by the day because, again, we are at the beginning of watching the walls of the kingdom fall down. And we've seen a lot of people come out here and there. The latest video I did about Reggie Miller, of course, Reggie Miller didn't stand on it. He backtracked. But let me say this. I believe Kendrick Perkins must have burned his CFL membership. I believe Kendrick Perkins might have actually burned that CFL membership card. Because it really seems like he may be done capping for LeBron. He may have had it up to here. You know, I feel like he's either going to cap just enough to keep his job or he's about to lose that job. But yeah, I think he's on the way out the door. And here's why. Let's check out this clip.
College, improve his draft stock. One of the scouts said, I do think in 4 years or after 4 years, he's a legitimate NBA player. The other one said, no, I just see him as an old senior.
Hey, look, let me say this. We have to stop. We have to stop. As the media and everybody else shining the light on Bronny, because it's other players that are deserve our attention, right? The lottery guys, the guys that are actually that are going to get drafted in the first round. Like, we're talking about a guy, a young man that's possibly going to go late second round or not getting drafted at all. I've never, in my 4 years of working here, I've never sat on the table where we're talking about a second round pick.
But this is LeBron James' son, and that is a legitimate storyline that one of the greatest of all times has a son trying to play in the NBA at the same time.
And you have to give Bronny credit for actually trying to say the right things and showing up in the right places. And at the end of the day,
and by the way, I like seeing LeBron in the stands as a proud dad. I like that. That's a great example from fatherhood.
He's the number one scorer in NBA.
What does that have to do with his son being at the draft combine?
Kid was playing on the Lakers.
We didn't shine the light on Scottie Pippen's son like this. We can't move the goalposts and feel like we go do it when it's convenient for us.
All right. So you hear Kendrick Perkins basically is like, look, let's stop talking about Bronny James, you know, someone who's going late in the second round, and actually focus on some more of the primary draft picks. Like he said, I've never seen us focus on someone like this in my 4 years at ESPN. We didn't focus on Scottie Pippen's son like this. And of course, what's her name? Sinead Boumakay or something like that. I don't know, but she's definitely a member of the CFL for sure. You know, her and the other girls start going into this thing about Bronny said the right things and talking about LeBron James, and you know, Kendrick Perkins is like, what has that got to do with it? And so yeah, I mean the scouting reports. I didn't play the whole clip, but if you guys happen to have seen the clip, you know that the guy on there, I can't even remember his name, but he was basically saying that the scouting report for Bronny James is not good, and that this is coming from two veteran scouters of the NBA. That you know, the scouting report on the Bronny James is not good. And I think this is actually no surprise. Again, I have not followed Bronny James' career at all. You know, I've only looked at a few clips of him playing, but you know, to me, it only takes looking at a few clips of him playing to see that this guy's clearly not NBA ready, or clearly not ready to be a force in the NBA. And definitely, you know, his only way into the NBA is because of who his father is. But anyway, so in this clip, like I said, you hear Sinead Boumakay, again, whatever her name is, start talking about, oh, well, I like the way he answered the question in an interview. And, I didn't play that part either, but pretty much Bronny James was, saying he wants to create his own way and he's really not worried about whether he gets to play with his father or not. Yada, 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 which is, whatever. But she's bringing that stuff up. And, and then again, like I said, they started bringing up LeBron James and, he's the career lead in scoring. Like, well, okay, what does that got to do with Bronny? And it immediately got me thinking that here we go again. Here we go again with talking about non-basketball related stuff to justify why Bronny should be in the NBA. And again, I don't put the full blame on Bronny. He cannot help that his dad has been putting this narrative out there for years now about wanting to play with his son. And however, like I said, to me, this is a terrible way to start off your career. Like you don't want to start off your career with people having to justify why you are where you are. Again, it's bringing up non-basketball related things. Oh, I like the way he answered the interview, and then talking about your father. They're using the success of your father as justification for why you should have a shot. But it also got me thinking about, this is very much LeBron James' whole career. This is why you fanboys, I'm gonna tell you what, you guys, I know I say this all the time, but you guys should feel really ridiculous. You really should feel really ridiculous about yourself. I mean, again, you spend your time trying to defend the indefensible. You guys have really reached an all new low. Some of the stuff I've been seeing on Facebook lately is just blatant lies or just the most ridiculous stuff. You guys have really completely stopped trying to make points at all. Like and don't get me wrong, it's been a lot more of you in my comments this last week. I really don't think y'all liked the Rashad McCants video. But it's been a lot more of you in my comments, but it has literally been, every last one of you has just simply said hater. None of you have even attempted to make a point. But again, so you should feel ridiculous about yourself. But anyway, so just going back to LeBron James' career. Like this is why we hear these kind of narratives about LeBron James and why they always bring up the non-basketball related stuff. And here's the thing. When you have to bring up the non-basketball related stuff to try to justify your point, then that's how you know you don't have a strong basketball case to stand on. Like going back to the beginning of LeBron James' career and the whole chosen one thing. Like when you really think about that, the chosen one of what? I mean, what kind of narrative is that to build your career on? And again, I guess what was it, Sports Illustrated who originally put that out, but LeBron James embraced it. LeBron James got it tattooed on him. LeBron James has said this several times about himself. He likes to crown himself and all this kind of stuff. So fanboys, don't get in my comments with that. LeBron James has embraced this. But what kind of career starts off on a narrative like the chosen one? I mean, if you really think about it, to me, that in itself already tells you this is about to be a career of that narrative. Again, when Michael Jordan came into the NBA, nobody was talking about, oh, Michael Jordan is the savior of the NBA. And even if you're talking about Magic and Bird, like now Magic and Bird are known as the guys who saved the NBA. But back then, they weren't looking at it. They didn't come into the league and was like, oh, Larry Bird, he's the savior of the NBA. Oh, Magic Johnson, he's the savior of the NBA. Like they were just exciting players who earned that title. They earned that title because they did save the NBA because of their play and because of how exciting they were of players. Again, this goes back to what Michael Jordan says about chasing greatness versus just working hard and having those things bestowed upon you. Magic and Bird, they earned that title with their play, and just so happens that because they were exciting players, because of the rivalry between the Lakers and Celtics, that they did save the NBA. But they didn't come in as the saviors of the NBA. You know, Michael Jordan, when he came into the league in '84, he didn't come in as, you know, oh, look at this guy. He can fly and do this. Like, he's the one. He's the one we've been waiting on. No, there were people saying, his former coaches and whatnot saying, hey, this is the best guy I've ever seen play basketball. But but what does the chosen one mean? That is a narrative. That shows you that, oh, we are preparing to feed you, to turn this guy into the chosen one, so to speak. And that's what LeBron James' whole career has been. That's why all of the narratives, or let me say, all of the standards that we previously judged, that we previously judged great players by, have been thrown out the window, have been shifted to the side. You know, it's because they have had to try to live up to this chosen one thing. And then again, let me say this for you fanboys as well, because again, this is another narrative about LeBron James. He's exceeded all expectations. I got two things to say about that. How did he exceed all expectations if he was the chosen one to begin with? I mean, to me, you bringing him in as the chosen one says that you already expected greatness. Now, here's the other thing is, when you say that, speak for yourself. Fanboys, when you say, oh, he exceeded all expectations and blah, 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 speak for yourself. Expectations according to who? He didn't exceed my expectations. Matter of fact, he severely underperformed what I thought he could have been based on his potential. I thought LeBron James had a lot of potential. Again, fanboys, this is what you guys need to understand. Most people, again, people like to talk about all this hate that LeBron got. Most people, I cannot count the number of people on this channel who have admitted to either A, being fans of LeBron at one point, or B, at least being indifferent and, you know, trying to wait and see what he was going to turn out to be. I was indifferent. Again, when Kobe first came into the league, I wasn't a Kobe fan, but Kobe won me over as a fan. Kobe won me over because eventually I had to admit, I had to give it up to him. I had to be like, hey, this guy works hard. He plays hard. He's relentless. Like, he's what you want in a star athlete. He's who you want to lead your team. It's someone who has these qualities. And with LeBron James, I was indifferent. You know, I was like, hey, this guy has the potential. You know, like you guys say, he's 6'8", 250 pounds or 60 pounds or whatever. He's fast. He has a lot of potential. But potential is one thing. And I was hopeful for what he may become. But he slowly eroded that way. As a matter of fact, let me say this. LeBron James is actually the first player who I think I started off being indifferent and then wind up despising him. Now, let me say this. I don't know LeBron James personally. All I can judge him by is what he puts out there. And by what he puts out there, like, it's despicable. Like, people keep talking about good role model and good father and stuff. What he puts out there is despicable. Like, how do you justify telling blatant lies on camera? You know, it's the one thing, I feel like everybody tries to protect their image to a certain, so it might be certain stuff you just don't want people to know. First thing I think about is Michael Jordan with the whole Isaiah Thomas situation. He denied that for years. Eventually, a tape came out and said, you know, Michael Jordan did actually say, hey, something to the effect of I don't want the guy on the team, or if he plays, I won't play. Something to that. It came out that this did happen. But again, with LeBron James, there is evidence. There's compilation tapes of this guy flopping. And he gets on camera and denies it. Even says, oh, well, maybe I should learn. Maybe I need to learn how to flop, you know. No, I'm serious. Like throw my head back. Like, are you serious? You know, who whines constantly. You know, and again, to me, at this point, it's just innate to what he does. He is a whiner. I don't think he knows how to do anything else but whine and complain. Like, matter of fact, I'm gonna go as far as to say this. To me, LeBron James is always looking for a reason to complain. And these things have, you know, over the years, they have increased. You know, LeBron James' game hasn't increased. He's increased at tactics of trying to cheat the system or trying to game the system. So LeBron James is the first NBA player that I can think of to where it went from like I was indifferent or seeing what, you know, I'm gonna see what happens to just being like, man, this guy's despicable. Like, I don't even want to rank this guy. Like I said, I'm trying to work out a formula for my top 10 to make it concrete because, you know, up until I rework it, my number one is always constant, which is MJ. But, you know, 2 through 7, 6, 7, 8, probably 9, 10, that it can move around a little bit because I feel like I can make cases for a lot of people, especially because the eye test is a very big deal for me. So I can make cases for a lot of people. But LeBron James is like, I have a hard time, if I'm going to put him top 15, I have a hard time with that. If I'm going to put him in top 20, I'm going to have a hard time with that. If I'm going to put him top 30, I'm going to have a hard time with that just based on those things that I talked about. You know, based on the low integrity way that he goes about the game. You know, even players like, you know, there are players that I used to love, but I don't love everything about him. Allen Iverson, he's one of them. I appreciate the tenacity in which he played when he was on the court. But to me, Allen Iverson is representative of that generation that came after Jordan, who wanted to be the competitors, who wanted to be the alpha, but didn't understand or want to put in the amount of work that Jordan did to get where he was, you know, like Kobe Bryant did. Kobe was the one who understood it. Kobe was the one who wanted it bad enough to actually put in the work. Even when people talk about, you know, Russell Westbrook, to me, especially during his peak, he was relentless on the court. But to me, it's a difference between being relentless on the court and wanting it so bad that you really work on all the weaknesses of your game. That's two different things. And so yeah, you know, I kind of went on a long rant here, but the point is I think it's sad that Bronny James is starting his career in a similar way. Now, obviously, he doesn't have the same hype going behind him as LeBron James. But when I say starting in a similar way, I mean starting on a narrative that really has nothing to do with the basketball. You know, of having to make excuses for why he should be accepted into the NBA versus he's good enough of a basketball player to do that. Like I said, with LeBron James, the whole chosen one thing, it's like, what does that mean? What does that mean? It's like you're starting his career off on a narrative that he has not proven. Like, to me, the chosen one thing, that should have been something that happened after years and him actually having a solid legitimate career. And when I mean a solid legitimate career, I mean a career of no cheating the game. And you earn that kind of title. But to start your career, and here, you know, I'm gonna close the video out with this. It just goes with everything. When you give people too much too soon, they feel like they don't have to work anymore. And LeBron James literally got everything too soon. He got too much too soon. He got too much money too soon. He got too much praise too soon with the whole chosen one thing. And he embraced it, and he fell for it hook, line, and sinker, which is why, you know, when you get all of those things, you assume that you must be great. So, of course, if things aren't going right, it has to be somebody else's fault. It got to be somebody else's fault. I just got a $100 million contract. It got to be somebody else's fault. I'm the chosen one. It has to be somebody else's fault. But anyway, we are going to hold up here. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. What do you think of Kendrick Perkins saying, hey, can we stop talking about Bronny James and actually talk about some players that matter? Can we start talking about the real players that are going in the first round, that are going, you know, that are going high in the first round? Can we talk about that? What do you think about Kendrick Perkins? Do you think Kendrick Perkins has officially burned his CFL membership card? I feel like something must have happened. Something must have happened, because this is that Kendrick Perkins was a hard capper for LeBron. And, you know, it's kind of like a scorned woman. You know, a woman when she feel like she done everything for you, and and you do it bad, then, you know, she's like gonna take the gloves off, and, you know, it might burn your clothes in the yard or something like that. Kendrick Perkins seemed like he's ready to burn down the house. So I don't know what happened, but he seemed like he's burned that CFL membership card. But anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Fanboys, I hope that your day is terrible. I hope it continues to be terrible. But the rest of you, you all have a truly fantastic day. And I'll see you next time. All right.